Welcome to the Community Difference Rockwall. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. And sponsored by Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. The Mesquite Championship Rodeo. Compass Facilities Consulting. The One Group with Town Square Mortgage. Tammy Escobedo, Beauty Industry Leader. Minuteman Press of Rockwall. And by WeatherTech General Contracting.
The Community Difference Rockwall was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Rockwall starts now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Community Difference Rockwall, a podcast firmly rooted in the intersection of business development and community involvement. I'm your host, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. I have over 13 years of guiding clients to meet their financial goals. I am passionate about fostering financial literacy, guiding through education and comprehensive solutions. Our goal is to empower individuals to take control of their finances, redeem their lives, and achieve true financial freedom. Let me help you make a meaningful impact on your financial future. Today, we have an exciting show lined up as we are in the third week of July. For the entire month, our show has been exploring beyond referrals, developing strategic partnerships that create new business together. So right now, I would love to bring up our two seasoned co-hosts, Kristen Small, owner of WeatherTech General Contracting, and Brian Decker, CEO of Compass Facility Consultant. Kristen Kristen is a mom and the owner of WeatherTech with her husband, Josh. Josh came in with a few years of wanting to create a business. They had a history in construction, and, they wanted to create something that would benefit customers with all the years of experience they had. Now they have a team together that's over a decade, not only helping customers with home or business repairs, but also bringing customer vision to life with remodeling. Hi, Kristen. What are you so excited about the show today?
Hey, Debbie. I'm pretty excited. We've got Mark Wilson as our guest host. Josh has known Mark for several years. He's a great guy, and he's got a phenomenal company that he's developed and grown that I look forward to sharing with everybody today.
That sounds awesome. Thank you so much. And Brian, before setting his sights on the private sector, Brian served in the U.S. Navy nuclear propeller program for 20 years. He honed his skills in managing mission-critical operations. This experience has high-staked environmental fluids with passion for creating reliable systems that deliver performances. Brian then leveraged his expertise in Meta, serving as the Global Operation Readiness Manager. He spearheaded the optimization and governance of a new network of 20 data centers, ensuring efficiency and delivering impeccable services to a demanding digital world. Today, Brian leads a team of professionals who equipped organizations with the tool and strategies to optimize operations. So when you choose Compass Facilities Consultant, you're not just investing in expertise, you're partnering with a visionary leader who understands the intricate dance between data, strategies, and human potential. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the show. What are you so excited about today?
Hey, Debbie, I'm so excited to be here today, and thank you. That was a mouthful.
It is.
We've got Chris Dorwood coming on today. I can't wait to have him on. Very highly decorated individual and an expert in this space. So I'm really excited to have him. And plus I get to be with you all, and we get to talk about. I mean, it's summertime in Rockwall, Texas. What a better place to be, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as the show goes on. But I'm just super excited to dive into this topic today. Talk about strategic partnerships and how to leverage those for our business, and talk about how great it is to be in Rockwall this time of year.
Awesome. Yes, very good. Well, since we've heard Mark and Chris, let's go ahead and bring them in. And I will introduce first Mark Wilson, who is Kristen's guest right now. We'll bring them on in. Hi, Mark.
Hi, how you doing?
Lived in Sunnyvale for 10 years with his wife, Lauren, and their 2 children, Lyndon, 11, and Bryn, who is 9. He attended Texas A&M and is a youth basketball coach for Triumph. Is that Triumph?
Yes, ma'am. Triumph.
Basketball in Dallas, so that's awesome. His business is Lipwell Luxury Services, is a black SUV and limo van chauffeur and errand service company based out of Sunnyvale and Fort Worth. But he has served all over DFW Metroplex and beyond. We can provide any transportation service, including and not limited to airport, dinner, sporting events, concerts, weddings, formals, funerals. We will also provide car delivery services and run any errand one may need. Welcome, Mark. What are you excited about the show today?
Just sharing a passion for networking, with the surrounding community of Rockwall and Sunnyvale Heath, anything out in this area, to just be able to create great relationships and service this community. So
that's awesome. And then we'll bring in Chris. Hi, Chris. Chris is a former United States Marine Corps nuclear, biological, and chemical defense specialist who served from 2000 to 2004 and participated in the initial invasion of Iraq in 2003, earning the Presidential Unit Citation. And after his military service, he joined the police department, where he excelled in drug interdiction and awarded the Medal of Valor for his bravery, which was an amazing story, by the way. Transitioning to real estate in 2006, Chris quickly became the top producer, known for his dedication for clients and mentoring other agents. He co-founded the Texas Valor Project, a nonprofit organization supporting veterans and first responders with traumatic brain injuries, which the first year or second year, I think, y'all raised over $500,000 in 2 years, which is just amazing. I know that you partner with your wife, so that's awesome. He is married to his wife, Holly, and they have 2 children and very active in the community. So welcome, Chris. We're so excited. What are you excited about the show today?
Thank you, Ms. Debbie. It's an honor to be with you and with your audience and have a platform as great as yours to be able to tell our story and get the word out of what we're doing.
Well, we are so excited to learn more about each of you, diving into that. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it's a great subject. It's What's Up Rockwall. We're going to learn about everything going on in the amazing city of Rockwall. So take a break here and we'll come back, and it's What's Up Rockwall.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Hey Texans, hold on to your hats. The Mesquite Championship Rodeo, newest sponsor partner of the Community Difference shows, is back, bigger and better than ever. Witness the heart-pounding action as the best riders in the world compete for glory. Feel the thrill of the chase, the raw power of nature, and the unbreakable spirit of the West. Don't miss your chance to be part of the legend. Get your tickets now to the Mesquite Championship Rodeo or win yours free just for watching the Community Difference shows.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
Buying a home? It should be an exciting time, not a stressful one. At Proven National Title, we understand that buyers want fast, reliable, transparent, seamless, convenient title and closing services. Therefore, our services are not limited to our office or yours. Let Jackie Tobar and all the fine folks at Proven National Title help make your dream of homeownership a reality. Call us today for a smooth and stress-free closing. Contact us at 972-752-8540 or email at jackie.tobar@provennationaltitle.com. Proven National Title. Give me one and I'll earn the rest.
And now, back to the show. What's up, Rockwall?
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's the great part of our show to learn more about our local community, Rockwall. So I'm going to turn it over to Brian because I know he had several activities that he wanted to share about all the great things that are going on this summer in Rockwall. So Brian, share with us. Take yourself off the mute there, bud. We're live. That's the great thing.
Rookie mistake. So, as I talked about in the beginning, being in Rockwall County in summertime is just an amazing place to be. And there's so many reasons why. I wanted to start, though, talking about, one of the things that makes Rockwall truly special for me and my family is, how everyone pulls together as a community and gives back so well and just fosters that sense of community. And as we grow, even though we're growing and growing and growing, that sense of community is still here. And so there's several nonprofits that have got some things coming up, and I'm going to steal a tiny bit of Chris's thunder, but of course I promise you I won't stand still at all. The Rockwall Kiwanis are doing a triathlon coming up on August 4th at 7 a.m. at the YMCA. And if you don't know a lot about the Kiwanis, they make sure that all of our kids have enough food to eat. So I encourage you to look them up if you haven't had any experience there. Clays are the Lone Star Casa is having a clay shoot on Friday, August 16th, and that's in the morning as well at 8 a.m. at the Texas Gun Ranch. And then the Texas Valor Project has their annual clay shoot, and I tell you what, that's a heck of an event. But I'll let Chris talk about that. But that's coming up on the 27th of September at 11 a.m. So there's so many events that give us the opportunity to give back to these nonprofits in our communities that really focus on things that really matter. And so I wanted to mention those first and foremost. But it's also summertime, right? And if you haven't noticed, we have a lake nearby, and there's so many things to do. But I talked about it at the beginning of the summer, and I want to reemphasize the fact that we have live music everywhere. If you didn't know it, we're the free live music capital of North Texas. So San Justino Square still going on Fridays and Saturday nights with concerts. And then we got the Concert on the Lake series wrapping up right now. Bad Moon Rising is coming up tomorrow night, so I highly encourage you to check that out. I think there's one more week after that, and then they're gone for the whole season. So you got to get out there and experience it before it goes away. You'll see all the boats tied up, folks in the water, folks out on the lawn. Just a cool experience to see. But Harry Myers Park has a family fun Friday coming up on Friday. It's at 6 p.m. So the city just does so much, and there's so many things for you to take your family out and just get outdoors. I know sometimes it's a little hot, right? But get outdoors and experience why it's so much fun to live in Rockwall County this time of year.
That's great. Yeah, it is hot, but thank goodness you do have that water, like you said. That's
right.
thing.
You just jump in.
Oh, great. Well, Kristen, I know that you had some things that you wanted to share that's also going on.
There's a few things. Every Saturday we've got in the downtown square, the farmers market. So that's still going on. Get out, get your little family fun for the early morning before it gets too hot. And you have to join, then you got to go to the lake to enjoy the rest of the day. They've got La Tida Christmas in July. which is it's hosted by the Professional Women's Alliance. It's an opportunity for networking. That's going to be Saturday, July 25th. There's a Rockwall Roper Romp, July 13th. That's going to be actually, that was last week. My bad, guys. But the most important event I think we have coming up, at least for this group, shout out to Brian Decker. We have Compass Facilities Ribbon Cutting. There we go. Coming up in August. That's the 15th, and that will be at the Chamber of Commerce in their innovation room. So we'd love to have all of you guys join us so that we can support Brian and Compass and support our community.
That's awesome. Very good. Ribbon cutting. Yeah, we'll all have to make sure that we go check that out. Well, Chris, I know that you have some things coming up that you'd like to share, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, so we have, I saw that the Mesquite Rodeo is one of the show's sponsors. I'm got to give a shout out to the Mesquite Rodeo. They selected the Texas Valor Project as the charity of the day for the first responder rodeo coming up on July 27th. So if you're a first responder, you can get free tickets to that. If you're a veteran, they allocated tickets to us. You can reach out to the Texas Valor Project, and we're happy to get you some tickets to that. So that's the next event we have coming up. And then followed by that, our big event of the year, which we might get into later, is going to be our big clay shoot, which is not even a clay shoot. It's more of an event, but it's September 27th of this year. And it's always the last Friday of September. Brian, let me know when I can go into that one.
That's awesome. Awesome. Now, so are those a lot of your fundraisers that you are out there helping to raise money for your nonprofit? Yes.
So we're 100% volunteer organization. So every cent that we get in goes towards our mission and our goals. Is it okay if I go into that now, what we do? And
yeah, for sure. We have a few minutes. Go ahead and share how that would help. That way we know, and that would help get more people out there for your show.
That'd be great. Thank you so much for the platform. So Texas Valor Project was founded because we're really tired of going to funerals for our fellow veterans and first responders that are dealing with suicide, that have committed suicide. We found the need through a partnership and friendship that traumatic brain injuries were not being treated the way they should be by a government organization that should be doing that. And we found doctors that are doing it and doing it at a very high level. What we also found out is it's severely underfunded, and it costs between $10,000 and $16,000 a head to treat these veterans and first responders. And it's just completely underfunded in the area. We have a list that's about $3.5 million long right now of people that need treatment. And we're only able to treat between 25 and 75 a year. So we stepped in and we created our event to start raising funds, which is our annual clay shoot. Our clay shoot begins with a clay shoot, but it's not just a clay shoot. It goes into a small concert right after by the Texas Bluesmen, which are a Blues Brothers tribute band, live and silent auction after that. And then it wraps up every year with a Texas music performance. We never announce who's going to play the show because we don't want to sell tickets to a show. We want to give that show as a thank you and appreciation for our supporters coming out and supporting us and supporting the veterans that are going through. So it's always a great show. We always promise it will be, and it's a world-class event. My wife was the president of Rockwall Women's League and has been involved with them for many, many years. So we brought in the classy gala effect with the grungy guy effect. And after the clay shoot, the families come together and we have a great time.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I mean, my husband is a veteran, and also I have police officers in all my family. So it is very well needed, and it is a very bad area that is overlooked because honestly, the suicide in that part is tremendous. It's tremendous. And so I really appreciate that. Well, guys, if we don't have too much more of What's Off Rockwall, we'll go ahead and take a break, and then we will have a little bit more time to actually dive into the topic of the month. So we'll go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we can talk about the topic of the month, which the topic of the month, again, we're so excited to highlight this month, is talking about referrals and how that can bring in new business. And I think what some of the things that we even talked about today as the community will even help on those referrals. And I think we'll be able to find even more ways to connect those, because I was just even thinking, Chris, as you're talking, I have someone in mind that I'd love to connect you with that could be a very good partner. So that's the great thing about this show, is we find ways to help each other connect in all those areas. So let's take a quick break and we'll be back and talk more.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Frisco Fighters prepare to reach new heights at Comerica Center this spring. From competitive matchups to exciting theme nights, you won't want to miss a second of the action. Join us and experience high-scoring, hard-hitting indoor football that's fun for the whole family to enjoy. Visit FriscoFighters.com for game highlights, tickets, or to reserve your spot at the Tarmac Tailgate Party.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Enjoy DFW's most fun, affordable night out and catch the Rough Riders, the AA affiliate of the Rangers, at beautiful Riders Field in Frisco. The Riders are back home July 9th through 14th. The weekend opens with First Responders Night presented by Peak Roofing and Construction on July 12th, Texas Monthly Barbecue Night on the 13th, and Bluey Theme Day on the 14th. Get your tickets at ridersbaseball.com. The Frisco Rough Riders, the AA affiliates of your Texas Rangers.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I did want to highlight, since they are our sponsors. I know we are in Rockwall, but Frisco, maybe probably about 45-minute drive or something, but the Rough Riders definitely are fun to go watch. And we have free tickets. So if you ever wanted to go to the game, all you have to do is reach out to your host or co-host so you can get free tickets for that. And then the Frisco Fighters, our Frisco Fighters are actually going to the playoffs. We have one more, they have one more game this Saturday before they go to the playoffs, and we still have some tickets for those too. So, if you'd love to go out and see those fun activities and not have to pay for a ticket, we got those tickets for you. So let's go in and jump right into the topic of the month. This month is Beyond Referrals, developing strategic partnerships that create new business together. We're not necessarily looking for that you have an expertise, but we're just looking for examples of how you can utilize some of this through your business, and some are that you've used through your nonprofits. So Brian, I know that you know Chris very well, and I know that you probably have some ideas of how questions you could ask him, how he utilizes some of these referrals, and how he can take those referrals and actually make new business with different ways. There's so many different ways, by proactively reaching out. There's social media reaching out. There's developing strategic alliances with different people. So Brian, I'll turn it over to you, and you ask Chris, how he utilizes some of this.
Well, I tell you what, I thought of Chris pretty much immediately when I looked at this topic, because not only does Chris create strategic partnerships and have to move past just a referral-based business in his real estate business, but he also has to do it for being the co-founder and running the Texas Valor Project, right? Because both of those businesses really require on a lot of partnerships and a lot of word of mouth, right? And so immediately I thought of Chris because he's been highly successful at both. And so Chris, I guess my question for you is both of these, require, depending on referrals. How have you broken out of being just referral based and created strategic partnerships that in both your real estate business and the Texas Valor Project to create those opportunities for your business?
Well, Brian, you hit it on the head when you opened the show, and you said that Rockwall is a great tight-knit community. I was drug here kicking and screaming in 2008, which is a great time to buy a house, by the way, if you weren't paying attention in 2008. So I had a boat and said, have Lake, we'll travel. My wife was born and raised Rockwall, got here. But when I started my business in 2016, I just started networking and going out, and you meet people, and you meet people that are like-minded. That's the amazing thing about this community is we're so like-minded. When I bring people here, I tell them, hey, look, you can meet your elected officials and know all of them within 6 months, or you can still live under a rock and never meet anybody. The choice is yours. But what I did is I went to all the networking events that you guys all go to in Rockwall and started meeting people and talking to them. And you find the ones you like and the ones that are hard chargers and workers. And I send you business. I expect you to send me business, and you have that conversation going. But it's never I feed you, you feed me mentality, but it just happens that way. It's natural. Then getting in with all the charities. I mean, talked about Lone Star Casa and Rockwall Women's League and all of them. They are all great places to meet like-minded individuals and find people that are supporting the community. If they're supporting the community, I want to do business with you. And that's just how we started it. And my personal business vendor list is where the first place I went to start raising money for Texas Valor Project. And really, they funded the first event just off my vendor list. And
that brings up a really good point, though, right? Because in any business, and even over into the nonprofit space, right? In order for someone to do business with you or support, your cause, they've got to know you, they got to like you, and then ultimately they got to trust you, right? So how have you used that proactive approach to build that trust with the folks that you talk to? Because that's beyond just reaching out, right? You got to build that relationship.
Yeah, it's time and grade, as we say in the military. You have to be consistent, treat everybody right, do things for the right reasons, not for selfish reasons. That's how I do it anyway. You give and you receive. And I think that's kind of the core of why we do what we do. We're here to give back to other people, not just to take. For sure.
No, I love that. And, kind of looking at the strategic partners that you have, right? Have you been able to, and I guess I'm going to ask you a little bit more on the TVP side than on the realtor side for this one, but have you guys been able to create with the partnerships that you've been able to gain, including ours, right? But have you been able to create that unique value proposition? So you're helping out, the sponsors that are working with you, as well as them helping you out as well. Have you been able to create those value propositions on either side?
Absolutely. Looking at TVP, I mean, I can go through our list of sponsors, and most of our sponsors are Rockwall-based companies, and some are corporate, some are outside. But we feed back to them, and what's cool about it is they get to see the vets that go through, and they get the videos, and they get to see the celebrations, and we include them in the events like the rodeo and bring them in and want them to come see it. So it just grows, and then they introduce somebody to us, and we introduce somebody to them, and it's just a great, unique, and intertanglement of wildly different businesses.
No, for sure. And it's funny when you look at a playbook for strategic alliances, right? And the funny thing is, I know you, and I know that this playbook you didn't follow on purpose. You followed it from just being genuine, and you're reaching out and asking people for support, and just supporting the community yourself. But as I was going down through each wicket, right, I was like, yeah, they do this. Yep. So I'm just kind of going through. So I think you guys have done it really, really well, which is why I thought of you here. So, and I know I definitely want to hear from Mark here, but, one of the things is utilizing influencers, or utilizing folks that draw people in, and you mentioned the clay shoot and the artist that will not be named coming in, but you've been able to utilize that a lot. I can tell you, from going to your events myself, hearing the stories of the folks that have received treatment and how powerful that is. And then you've got some pretty influential folks that can come in and speak as well about their experience with Texas Valor Project, their experience with working with veterans. How is that, utilizing influencers and folks that really draw people in? How's that helped, the TVP be so successful?
Well, I mean, it's getting our name out there, because we have to have the funds to put the people through. Everybody that goes through the treatment knows 5 people that need the treatment. So that list goes on and on and on. What we need to happen on the counter side is we need, sponsors to say, hey, I think if you want to support a great local charity, this is somebody that's going out and really making a difference, and they need every cent that they can get. So I don't know if that answers your question, but the ball rolls in all directions. Adam Smith is one of our champions. He's a Green Beret. He's like a social media influencer, and just an overall great, insane personality. But we put him through treatment this year. And what's amazing about him going through the treatment is if you've ever been to our event, he is in your face, raw and dirty. And I asked him, how would you address the crowd differently next year when you go to talk? And I'm not going to tell you what he said, but he said it is going to be completely different. But like for him, it took him where his little girl asked him if he would get on the ground and play with her right before he was leaving for treatment. And he said, baby girl, I can't get on the ground. Daddy just hurts too bad. And the one thing he couldn't wait to do when he got out of treatment was get on the floor and roll around with his daughter. And he was able to do that. So that's one of the amazing.
Oh, for sure. And he made me cry last year. So he's taking a different approach this year. Who knows? Right. But all right. My last question for you is, you have a lot of brand ambassadors out there. We see them all over town, right? At all the different events. You've got an audience here. What can folks do if they want to be a brand ambassador for the Texas Valor Project and help support you? How can they get a hold of you?
Right now, we are taking sponsorships. So everything from a $20,000 sponsorship down to a $1,200 team if you just want to come out and shoot at the event. With all of that, you get a shooting team, but you also get the party ticket that goes for the rest of the day. So if you want to find and sponsor, go to texasvalorproject.org. Reach out to me, Chris at texasvalorproject.org. Just please get in contact with us. Get in contact with Brian. He'll link you up. We really need funds, and that's something I can't stress enough. I hate asking for money, but I'm not asking for a hand up. I'm asking for a hand out. We'll get them once we lift somebody else up with us. That's for sure.
And you're not asking money for yourself. You're asking money for your cause. So
not for me. Yes,
yeah, that's a great thing. Guys, I love that, Chris, because you talked a lot about connections and influencers. And so I think that's the biggest thing is we all want to be connectors. I think, if I hear someone's story and then someone comes to mind, I want to be sure and connect them so that they can help each other. And so I think that's the great thing about the show and the communities. If we're all working together to help each other grow, whether it be nonprofit, whether it be our business, whatever. So that's awesome. Well, Kristen, I know that you have some questions for Mark. So we're excited to kind of dive into this and how he is using some of these concepts to help his business grow and how we can learn more about him. So I'll give it over to you. I got the mute button going there.
2 for 2 today.
Hey, but it's live. Yay, we can have some fun.
We're just anxious to talk. That's it, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
We just want to get going.
Yeah.
So, Josh has known Mark for several years. We've had them over, absolutely love the family and adore him. And, I can attest to what a great company LiveWell is. Josh and I have personally used their services as well. So, Mark, how have you leveraged your company and the strategic partnerships that you've developed? I believe your partners have worked on as well. I think everybody would love to know how you're continuing to develop and grow LiveWell with, I wouldn't say it's a saturated market, but there's, quite a few services out there with what you do. So how do you differentiate yourself and what have you done?
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, Chris and Brian, I just want to tell you, thank you for your service and everything that you guys have done, for us and everything that you continue to do for all the veterans. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate that. In reference to the question about our company, we are a chauffeur company in the black car space, and there is kind of a saturated market to it. And how we try to differentiate, ourselves is we build our product based on providing an exceptional service, right? We want everything that goes from making the arrangement or booking the reservation to picking you guys up, all the communication that goes into it, the service that you experience when you're in the vehicle, to getting dropped off to where you are, to getting picked back up and getting dropped back at home. The reason we named our company LiveWell is we just want you to be able to live your life and enjoy the moment that you're experiencing service with us. We don't want you to have to worry about anything. So to grow our business under that concept, providing exceptional services is the first thing that we do. The other unique thing that we do is we do take advantage of other rideshare app opportunities, and we go out and we provide that service as well, provide exceptional service, hand out business cards, and we get a lot of people that will call us because they would prefer to use a company that they know, that they trust. Somebody that they know the vehicles are going to be well maintained, the cars are going to be clean. The chauffeurs that we provide for them are very professional. And you can still talk to the owners of this company. We are a small company. We're growing, we're getting bigger, but we believe that personal touch and that personal communication is very, very important. In kind of leveraging, the network connections that we've made, being an Aggie, the Aggie network is a big network organization out there, and we support each other, all across the globe. And that's where Josh and I, really, first got connected down at A&M and have just continued to, connect and communicate, over the years. And we've met, a lot of people in the things that I do. One of the other companies that I have is a youth basketball company that services the Park Cities area. And between, getting to know all of those people and what we've done out in Fort Worth and then living here in the Sunnyvale, in the Rockwall area over the years, being able to take all the people that we've met in business and share the services that we do, not only with them, but them going out and sharing with other people as well. We've had a, very, very good following, and the share network there has been it's been very good for the expansion of business. So I hope maybe that helped answer that question a little bit.
No, most definitely. Do you utilize any, or how are you getting into the space of brand ambassadors, or utilizing, obviously social media is the biggest platform these days to grow and develop a new company. I think every one of us here feels it and sees it. How do you utilize, or do you utilize those with the business?
We do. We've just started using, the ad stuff and doing the geofencing around, certain areas through Facebook ads and Instagram ads, Twitter ads, things like that. We are starting to see, some positive feedback and results from that. We've obviously gone down the other path of doing a big mass marketing thing. And in the chauffeur transportation world, that's not the best thing for our company, although we've seen it be very successful for other companies. So we already are trending in a very positive direction in the social media style of putting those ads and advertising out there. The other things that we do, and it's just because it's the way that we want to treat people. Anytime that we see somebody else that has a small business and they're also trying to grow, and then they'll post something on social media, just for us, we're going to share the heck out of them too. Just like we hope, that when we post something that they'll share it as well. Not that we do it because we want people or expect them to do it. That's not our approach. But, we hope that, when you give out good positive vibes, good karma comes back your way. And, that's what we do. One of the other things that we do, and Chris, I would love to talk to you about this more for your charity. We try to be able to donate our time, our vans, our SUVs, to different charities that are very important to us. And when you guys do silent auction based things, I don't know if you guys do that for your event that's coming up, but it's certainly something that we like to try to provide. We may not be in the position where we can come in and do a sponsorship package, but we can certainly provide our time with our vans and with our SUVs to have somebody bid on that at a silent auction and let that funding go completely to the charity. So,
Mark, that would be awesome. That we call those in-kind donations, and we'll pair it with another concert or something like that, and it can make us great money. And if you have vacation homes or rentals or anything like that that's not being used, or you're not going to use it, we take those as donations. All that goes to great causes and changes lives. So yes, Mark, thank you very much. And I want to link up with you.
Yeah, and Mark, a lot of people, me included, seeing that you do that for nonprofits makes me want to do business with you over your competitors, right? Because you're investing that in the causes that we care about so much. So thank you for that, Mark. I appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely. Happy to help.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing of why this show was developed in the podcast is it is all based on community. And I know in previous shows, we've had people on that have never met and that have built some kind of partnership. So that's why, I just love doing these podcasts and meeting all the incredible people that we get to meet that we might not ever meet. And then you have these new partnerships, these new benefits for each other that we wouldn't have. And so I think that's the greatest thing that I have seen out of the development of these shows. And it's just going to continue to get better and better as we invite more and more guests and we get to have more people. And we'll just have all these connections, and Rockwall will just have all these people. I will say Rockwall is carrying it when it comes to our community on our our Facebook. They went over 1,000. They're number one. They're number two, but they're getting really close to some of the other shows. But it was amazing compared to some of the other shows that I participate in that have more population. So you guys are rocking it. You're rocking it in Rockwall. So, well, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive deeper into our guests and learn a little bit more about them. So I'm really excited to do that. So let's take a break and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
The Community Difference Rockwall is brought to you in part by Alan Lester, loan officer with the One Group with Town Square Mortgage. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press. Caleb Thomas with the Mesquite Championship Rodeo. Tammy Escobedo, beauty industry leader. Brian Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting, and Josh Small with WeatherTech General Contracting. If you, or someone you know would like to sponsor, or be a co-host sponsor of this show, or other shows like it, please give us a call at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com. And now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. This is where we get to dive a little bit deeper with our guests. Now, I want to start this off because I don't know these guys like you guys do. And so I just have one question and then I'll turn it over to you guys to dive a little bit deeper. But Chris, I know you had said that you were not a native of Rockwall. So can you just tell me a little quick background of how you got there and how long you've been in Rockwall?
Man, I'm going to make a statement that everybody in Rockwall cringes. I was born in the East Bay, San Francisco Bay, but I got here as quick as I could. I moved here when I was 10, grew up in Carrollton, went to high school in Carrollton at Newman Smith, went in the Marine Corps right out of Carrollton, did some time in Southern California, a little bit of time overseas in Iraq, and then came back, went back to Carrollton, lived in the North Dallas, Carrollton area, then met my wife, who's a Rockwall native, and the rest is history. So that's how we ended up here. Ended up here in 2008. I'll never leave. I love it here.
Very good. Yeah, you did say 2008. That should have stuck in my brain. So what about you, Mark? I know you're Sunnyvale. They're all really close out there. How long have you guys been out there and what brought you to that area?
Yeah, my wife Lauren and I are we've been here for about 10 years now. She's originally from this general area, kind of at the Dallas Athletic Club, if anybody kind of knows where that is. I'm originally from a small town in East Texas named Carthage, Texas, known for a couple of crazy things like the movie Bernie, if anybody's ever seen that one. I lived through that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's hilarious. And then up to A&M and then came here to Dallas in 2005 when I started coaching at SMU for basketball. And from there, coaching college basketball turned into coaching youth basketball. I've always had a passion for that. And then about 3 years ago, my brother came to me with this idea of starting a chauffeur business because he was driving the Uber business, and we've been doing it together. It's a family business, and it's grown immensely in 3 years. Coming to Sunnyvale, we lived in Dallas, drove out here to watch a Christmas church concert, saw all this beautiful wide open land, and just said it only added 10 more minutes to my commute to go to Dallas every day. And I was like, this is great. Great schools, great area out here, lots of peace and quiet. It's a safe community. So we moved out here and built a house 10 years ago and loved it ever since. So
Mark, maybe you can help me. Mark, maybe you can help me figure out where my jump shot went. Right, it used to be automatic. Now there's enough bricks I can build my house.
I can. I got a few kids that have played for us that have gone into the league and overseas. So I can probably help you find it wherever you lost it.
Lost it a long time ago. Go ahead, Debbie.
I'll turn it over to you to ask some questions of our guests then for a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'd love to. And I'll start with Chris because I invited you, so you get to go first. You have a unique perspective with your background coming in, right? Your military experience, your experience, undercover with the Dallas Police Department, and then you jump over to real estate, which I guess is hard for me to see the tie. But I bet you there is, right? And so I guess my question for you is, what your unique perspective were you able to bring into, being a top producer in real estate, as well as, your work with TVP, with, coming from the background that you did?
Well, I think that the main thing is, and this is where I was in law enforcement, we become very pessimistic, and you feel like, you're just good at being a cop. This is all you're good at. But in reality, and most people don't, if I asked you to raise your hand if you think law enforcement is a sales business, none of you would probably raise your hand. But if you're a beat cop and you've got to work, your way through the guy that just beat his wife and has her locked in a closet. You have to talk him into you getting in the house is the best thing for him to get to her. Then that's sales. For me, looking like me, buying drugs in South Dallas, that's sales. I didn't look at it like that then. But then, and I really didn't even look at it like that when I got into real estate. I got into real estate to make what I made on the police department without getting shot at. I was blessed to have great friends that championed me and referred me and helped me grow a business through referrals, ironically, is what we're talking about today. And that's how my business was founded. I don't buy Zillow leads. I don't spend the money to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But just going from that and processing into understanding in my brain that it is sales and sales isn't sleazy was one of the hardest aspects I had. Because a lot of people look at a salesman. If you ever seen the movie The Goods, go watch The Goods. It's rated R, so be warned. But it's the best sales movie ever. But it's a lot of fun. I kind of here, Ryan.
That's awesome. I knew you had to have a connection there, right? And I did not guess where that came from. That's awesome. But reading this story around, when you got the Valor Award while you're on the police department, how you stood between gunfire and wounded, officers to protect them. Making that leap, I can see the real estate market's pretty competitive, right? There's a lot of realtors out there. There's a lot of folks, and so the danger may not be as high, for your life, but it might be. But I can definitely see, the sales aspect after you bring that up. That's awesome. I appreciate the tie there. People ask me that a lot too, because I came from the nuclear, I was a nuclear engineer, and then, how did you get into data centers? And I'm like, oh, well, it's translatable, and I have to explain, right? But so I knew there was probably a tie there that you were able to give me.
The stress of getting shot at is one thing, and there's nothing that matches it. But the stress of running your own business and taking that risk is almost equally as stressful. So you guys are all nodding your head. It's not.
Yeah. And I think everything in the world is sales. Everything is sales. You had to sell your wives. You had to sell your husbands. Whatever it was, you have to sell. You have to sell your kids to go take out the trash. Whatever it is, we all deal with sales.
Yeah. Mark, I have to ask you the same question, man, because you also came from an industry well outside of what you're doing now. You started this business. How did your experience coming into that translate into what you're doing now, and how do you utilize your previous experience, coaching and everything there to go into what you're doing today?
So inside of basketball, coaching kids and also kind of coaching parents, if you have kids of your own and they're playing select sports, that, a lot of times there's a crossover there between, trying to develop the kids to get to that next skill level, but also trying to get the parents to just take a back seat and watch your kids enjoy themselves. Right. So just like Chris said, there's a sales part to it. Every year with our basketball program, we are trying to sell that what we are trying to do, the theory we try to take of let's just help get your kid onto a 7th grade, team at their school versus trying to make NBA players out of them. That's the first sales point. And you got to resell it every year to get that next crop of kids, into your program so you can start working with them and then everybody grows every year. So taking that same concept of selling yourself and believing, what you do and believing in the product that you offer, I believe has been very translative to going over to the chauffeur business. We are selling a life of luxury or ease and trying to, take out some of the complication of your travel, take out some of the worry, and selling that we are the best company to do that for you. Even though there's a lot of easier point and click solutions, like your other rideshare apps, the hope is to be able to provide such a high quality of service that your first thought is to call us versus call, a rideshare app. So selling ourselves, selling our company, I think has been very translated from coaching the youth basketball and getting people to re-up every year to getting our customers to make sure that they want to continue to use our service and trust that we're going to, be there for them. So.
Kristen, do you have a couple of questions for our guys?
I do. So I know everybody has, like Chris, you've got some great entertainers that have come in the past, and I know we can't reveal who this next year's is. But as somebody who is new to hearing about the Texas Valor Project, I've been very intrigued in learning more about everything that you guys have done. So would love to hear maybe a few of the past entertainers, especially for those other guests that haven't been aware of what's been done in the past, and so we can get even more excited about what you're planning for the future.
Yeah, so our first year we've had the Texas Bluesmen every year. They open it up, everyone comes off the gun range and they're hot and sweaty, and we gotta water them down and get them hydrated and get them into some shade. We bring in a big tent, and then the Bluesmen play and warm them up, and they're Blues Brothers tribute band, and they just rock it. They come out, and they're actually the only like Dan Aykroyd authorized Blues Brothers tribute band in the area. So they're awesome. So while we're getting everybody watered and fed and the auction's rolling out, the main guys start rolling out. The first year we had Jack Ingram, who's one of like godfathers of Texas country music. And then last year, this is our third event coming up this year. Last year we had Aaron Watson, and he rocked it and did an amazing job. But what's amazing to me, and it blows my mind, and they talk about the Rockwall community, you would think that there would be, if we had 250 people at the event, you would think that there'd be 250 people there waiting to see the headliner. After the live auction is over, 80% of the people go. They're there to give money for the right reasons, and they're down the road. And then a few people stay and watch the band. It blows my mind every year. But it's this community. It's who this community is, and it's amazing to me. Again, we don't really want to sell tickets, but we want you to come out and we want you to see it. So
for sure,
it will be
speaks
fun.
values.
Promise you that.
No, it speaks values to the type of people that are supporting you and you have around you that want to better the community, like you said, that are there to support the veterans and what they can do for everybody, not just sell concert tickets. So no, that sounds like an awesome deal.
One of the things, and just to give me the chance, Brian and I were talking about this. I see this every year at the event. And right now, like I said, we're a 1-year event, really kind of main event focus. But I see people that meet other sponsors, or maybe they're a guest and another guest and a guest and a sponsor, and they meet and they'll give each other a hug after somebody wins an auction item or something. They're like, you're here to support them. I want to do business with you. And I've seen it over and over and over again, and people build these strategic relationships just around that. And like I said, being like-minded and supporting the same thing for the same reason. It's really cool to watch.
Absolutely. Mark, so what would you say has been one of the most rewarding, exciting strategic partnerships that you've been able to develop over the course of building Live Well?
Over in Fort Worth, it's a very country club heavy atmosphere over there. And if you follow PGA at all, Colonial is a big tournament that happens every year in May over there. And we've got a partner actually, in one of our vans that is big on the board over there at Colonial. And but throughout basketball, I've had the opportunity to coach, a lot of kids that have done very well just themselves, or that they've had a brother that has done very well in another sport. And one of those guys is Jordan Spieth. And he's such the nicest guy in the world. I love his wife, his family. And I coached his brother, in our basketball program. And so it was very random one day where we realized his management team, who we take care of over in Fort Worth, made the connection that he played, or his brother played for me, and our company was taking care of him. And through that connection there, every time the Colonial comes in, and same thing for the Byron Nelson, our company is known to be able to take care of a lot of the golfers that come through there. But in addition, as we've talked about, networking connections, we got connected with the American Rodeo that comes in every March. And through that connection, we made some great relationships over in Weatherford, where a lot of people come in and do some rodeo things or some Western shows. And there's several shows out there right now on Paramount Network big guy, puts some shows on over there on that network, and we've been very blessed to be able to provide some very quality service that has led to them looking to use our company exclusively when they're in town. We've done a lot of service over at TCU, where we have the opportunity to take care of the head coach and his family, the baseball coach and their family, and some other NDA celebrities. That it was very random. We provided great service. Somebody reached out and said, "Hey, use these guys." It was the Wilson brothers originally, and until we were able to get people to kind of actually use the company name and get some luxury services, right? But we've been very, very blessed to think that we've done it the right way, and people are having a great experience, and it just continues to grow by word of mouth, which is great. And then trying the social media side of it and seeing what that can produce. So
awesome. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm sure you have to tell all your drivers, though, no, you cannot ask for their autograph.
Yeah, we've got some procedures in place where the drivers can't get shell shocked, and you can't ask for autographs. And one of the others, Chris, I hope one day he does it. But Pat Green is one of the biggest supporters of our company, and we take him to shows all the time. So I hope one day that we get to bring him out to one of your events. So
do I.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to do the fun part of our show, rapid fire, and your last thought. So let's take a quick commercial break.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
Are you ready?
Rapid fire.
Oh, welcome back. That's exactly what it is. Now, rapid fire, we're going to ask a question, and you just have one answer. You don't have to really elaborate unless it really sparks our interest, we might ask. But for the most part, we're just going to ask a question, go around the room. We have Lyndon actually in our background, who's our producer. We'll probably even ask him a question to pop in. First question, and since there's only two female, we'll go start with Kristen. Kristen, if you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Italian.
Chris.
Mexican.
Brian.
Mexican as well.
Mark.
Mexican.
I could be Mexican too. I mean, it's kind of toss up between, but Mexican. What about you, Lyndon?
Seafood.
Seafood. Oh, okay, okay. I think I'd get tired of that way too fast. But okay, so I will start with Mark. What was the last book, or maybe you're reading a current book that you read that you just couldn't put down?
Bible.
Okay, awesome. Brian?
It's called Don't Just Fix It, Improve It.
Awesome. Chris?
Jack Carr's new book. I can't remember the name of it though.
Kristen?
I have no idea the name of it, but it's in a James Patterson series. It's the Michael Bennett detective. It's one of, like, I don't know, 20-something books. So
Okay, very cool. I'm reading currently, and literally every morning I'm listening to it. I can't put it down or stop listening, but what you say when you talk to yourself, because, sometimes we just need that. So, Lyndon.
Well, but Lyndon's got a new book, so he's probably reading that.
Well, that's funny you said that, Brian. A good plug. It actually is, because when you write a book, you do it in stages, right? So now that it's all together and it's published, I went back to read it to make sure it made sense. So that's what I'm reading.
So what is the name of your book, Lyndon?
The name of the book is The Entrepreneurial Difference. It is on Amazon, and it comes with, it's really a cutting edge way to look at business development. And it even has a workbook in it after each chapter, so that you can really get yourself on a different perspective and different mindset of how to do business development.
There we go. He got his plug commercial in.
Yeah,
So there you go.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Great question.
Send
Great
us
question.
a link. Send us a link.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay, so next one. What is your favorite way to unwind after a long day? Brian.
Honestly, watching a movie with my wife. We do that basically every night.
Awesome. Chris.
A hug and a kiss from my wife and my children. That's the best.
Kristen.
hanging out with the kids and Josh. And just
Mark.
Hanging out with the kids and Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Coming home and leaving work behind and coming home to my babies and my wife. That's perfect.
There you go. There you go. Well, I have grandkids, so I get to come home with my husband and my dog. But honestly, I just like just unwind. I like to just play a little solitaire and just let my brain not have to think for an hour. So, Lyndon, what about you?
Mine would be working out or going to the driving range and just releasing some stress. Which
Very
creates
cool.
more stress, by the way, which creates more stress.
Well, since we closed out with, or the last one was, what do we do at the end? What's the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? Kristen.
varies. Sometimes it's kicking my 4-year-old out of the bed. I'm trying to do that because she has managed her way in there in the middle of the night. So otherwise, it's try to get a cup of coffee.
Chris.
A cup of coffee and something to challenge my brain a little bit.
Brian.
Yeah, cup of coffee and a devotional.
Mark.
Try not to step on my dogs as I make my way to get a cup of coffee or wake my kids up on the couch as my ankles creak.
I'm the only one that does not drink coffee here, so mine is definitely usually with my having my quiet time and getting my brain ready for the day. What about you, Lyndon?
Mine would be to let the dog out because that's how I get woken up every morning. And then, yeah, that's it. That's it. Make sure she's taken care of.
Very good. Well, we'll have one more. Let's see. What would you tell your younger self? One thing that you would tell your younger self today. Mark.
Try to spend a little more time with your family early on, even when you're growing your business. You can always make more money. You have limited time to make memories.
That's good. Kristen.
Don't rush out of school. Being an adult is not as much fun as you think it is.
true. Chris.
Boy, Mark is hard to follow. I got to tag on to that. Love your wife as hard as you possibly can and pour into your kids as much as you possibly can.
Yeah. Brian?
Gosh, those are all really good, and I could say all those, but honestly, my first thought, which is what Rapid Fire is all about, was don't smoke. Because I battled that for so long.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah. Honestly, I think about this all the time, and mine is just don't quit. To Kristen's point, I quit college because I thought I had to get married, but now when I put my mind to something, I just don't quit. So just don't quit, my younger self. You can still do it. Lyndon.
Be a sponge, not a rock.
Very good. Very good. Well, guys, we've had a great show. Let's go around and maybe just share, Mark, just one thing that you take away from the show, and then just tell us how we can get a hold of you, and just real quick. So,
the greatest thing I've taken away from the show is just the desire for people to share their small business and come together and support each other. As small businesses, we are all hustling every day to try to grow, and I think one of the best things that we can do is figure out a way to support other small businesses. Not that big box stores are great. They are, but if you want people to support you, you really have to have a passion and a desire to figure out how to go and support them. So, and to get a hold of us, you can visit our website at livewellluxury.net. You can give us a call at 682-429-0661, or send us an email at livewellluxuryservices@gmail.com.
Awesome. Chris?
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank my beautiful, loving wife for supporting me in all the crazy ideas I come up with. And thank you guys for having me and the Texas Valor Project on the show. I'm just a vessel of the Texas Valor Project to help veterans and first responders. So thank you so much for having us on. What I take away from the show is that I love this community even more. Every time we get involved with the community, it grows us tighter and tighter and tighter. And, Brian and I would go into battle together. I'm sure all of us would. And thank you guys all for having us.
Awesome. Brian?
I'm going to echo a little bit here, but, this community never ceases to amaze me, just how we support each other. And that's what this show's all about, right? Is lifting up our small businesses and nonprofits. And, I'm just so happy to be a part of that. And so that's how I feel after every show, by the way. But especially today, and to get a hold of us, it's Compass Facilities Consulting. So www.compassfacilitiesconsulting.com. And you can actually click a link right there and get some of our time right from the website.
Awesome. Kristen?
I just wanted to say thanks everybody for today. Absolutely love the Rockwall surrounding area communities. I think everybody's touched on it, so I won't continue to, go down that road, but it's just an amazing area, and the amount of support everybody gives and partners together with. For WeatherTech, you can reach out to myself or my husband, Josh. He's at j.small@weathertechgc.com, or you can go to the website, WeatherTechGC, and look forward to hearing from everybody and working with you.
Awesome. And my name is Debbie Watson. I'm so thankful that Brian and Kristen welcomed me as my first time as being host. So I loved today being with all of you and learning more about even Rockwall as I will learn more and more. Team Watson Redeemers, you can reach us at teamwatsonredeemers.com is the website. So feel free to check it out, and you can schedule time with me. But we are done for today, guys. We're so thankful for Mark and Chris. It was wonderful getting to know your stories, and be sure and share the promos afterwards on your social media so we can learn more and more people can learn more about you. We will see you guys in 2 weeks with our show because we will not be on next week. So we will see you in 2 weeks, and hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching today's show. The Community Difference Rockwall is brought to you in part by Alan Lester, loan officer with the One Group with Town Square Mortgage. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press. Caleb Thomas with the Mesquite Championship Rodeo. Tammy Escobedo, beauty industry leader. Brian Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting. And Josh Small with WeatherTech General Contracting. If you, or someone you know would like to sponsor, or be a co-host sponsor of this show, or other shows like it, please give us a call at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.